If I identify as a tampon, can I come inside you?
Hey guys, welcome to today's episode of Keeping It Real. My name is Emily.
And my name is Sherry.
And we have our guests here today. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
My name is Yong Kang.
Hi, my name is Wilfred.
Hi, my name is Gorgeous.
My name is Xavier.
Alright, and on today's episode, we will be talking about beyond pronouns. Okay, thank you so much. I stood up for the intro because I want to show off my skirt, but I will be sitting down. Thank you. So first of all, should I don't know, should we start off with like saying our pronouns first? I think that's a good place to start, right? If we are comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Sure.
We'll start with Yong Kang.
My pronouns are he, him.
My pronouns are he, him as well.
My pronouns are she, her.
My pronouns are she, her too. You have the thing?
I need to tell you, you cannot
Are you
look at me.
uncomfortable?
Yeah, I'm very uncomfortable with this. Sorry, I'm very uncomfortable.
Okay, so what's your pronouns? Handsome, gorgeous.
Handsome, gorgeous, beautiful.
Okay, respect. I guess.
My pronouns is he, him. Same as the other two.
Okay.
Hey.
Pronouns are he. Let's start off by talking about
Tits.
is gender identity determined by biological sex?
Yes,
Agree, disagree?
I agree.
Why?
Yes.
Because if you have a penis, then you are a guy. If you have a vagina, then you're a woman.
Interesting take.
What if you
Interesting
identify as a she, but you have?
I don't give a fuck what you identify as. If you got a penis, right, you're a guy. If you got a pussy, right, you're a girl.
Okay. Let's start off by first making it very clear. Okay, I took anthropology in school, so I briefly learned about this. It might be boring to you guys. But gender and sex are different. Agree?
Yes.
Yeah,
Agree.
Agreed.
But you just disagree with the statement that
No,
gender
he-
identity
he's just
is
trying
not
to-
biological sex.
He's just trying to stir shit. He's just trying to stir shit.
Please, but do explain. What's the difference?
So, sex is a biological thing, but gender is shaped by society and social roles and social norms.
So a guy can have a penis but still like feel like a girl. Like feel like he's born in a wrong body.
Yes, I believe that's possible.
What do you mean by shape?
Shape?
Yeah.
Of my penis.
It's
You wanna see it?
no, like it's shaped by social norms. So, for example, in certain cultures, for example, in like Africa, like okay, actually, most
Because
parts
they have
of the
long
world-
dick.
Like no, like no. Like, so the longer your dick, the more it makes you a man.
Oh no, what do you mean by shape then?
No,
Wait.
shape as in
It-
like
As in, like, how
social
society
norms
Yeah,
and
I
social
get it,
roles
yeah.
shape your gender identity.
But why Africa?
But what happened in Africa? Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's actually not really just Africa. It's like all around the world. But I'm sure there are some anomalies. So like the gender role for
A male in Africa?
male is sex. What is man? Okay, a gender role for a man in usually mostly around the world is to like go out, work, bring back the money, and then gender role for women is to stay at home, cook, take care of the domestic area, right? So that's a gender role. But being a man or woman is like
It's sex, your biological
your
sex.
biology. Yeah.
What you're born with.
Yeah.
So there is gender and there is sex. So gender is a social construct, essentially. So it is whatever you identify as, male, female, non-binary even, which comes to the topic of non-binary as well, which we will cover later on. But then there is also sex, which is biological in nature. And then there's also the argument where okay, so there is sex, which is male and female, but then there's also things like intersex, which is someone who is born with two genitalia, male and female. So if you try to make the argument there, oh, gender, there's only two, but then there's also intersex. And yeah, so there's not really much of an argument there. And if you think that if you think sex is considered by and is determined by your chromosomes like XY, XX, but then there's also XXY, there's also XYY. So there's all different kinds of sex.
Right.
But in terms of gender identity, it is a social construct. So there are different cultures such as in India, Thailand, Polynesia, West Africa, North America, there is more than two genders. So there is actually the third gender, which is highly respected in a lot of different cultures. So it also comes down to what culture you're in. So if you're in Singapore, maybe you're a little bit more close-minded. But if you're in a country like India, for example, they respect and acknowledge that there is a third gender.
Can I ask what's the third gender?
It is
Yeah,
like
totally.
it is between a male and a female. It is essentially you're not both. You're not either or, but you are not both either. So essentially, it's something like the concept of being non-binary, which I will now cover. So being non-binary is someone who identifies as neither male nor female. So when you are
It. Like,
not really it. So non-binary. So, I guess you can identify as it, but non-binary people usually go by they them. So they don't identify with the masculine pronouns of he. They don't identify with a female pronoun of she. But they could appear masculine, they could appear feminine, but deep down they don't feel like they are. So they would like to be identified as they or them.
I have a question. So is queerness sexual identity or gender identity?
Sexuality.
Sexual identity.
Sexuality.
Oh, sexuality. So does it count under the gender?
Because
part?
technically it's not an identity, it's just your preference, who you like, who you want to fuck. Yeah,
I see. I
in
see.
my opinion.
Wait, queer is. Queer means weird, right?
No, queer doesn't mean
Wait,
weird.
you search queer on the dictionary.
That is a-
It means weird.
Queer
is
essentially
a meaning.
means like you are not heterosexual. So you could be pansexual, bisexual, asexual, intersex,
It's too many.
Wait.
bisexual.
Can I
Did I
just
say
stop you
bisexual?
there?
Pansexual, yes.
So people want to have sex with kitchen appliances.
That's not pansexual.
Pansexual means
Sexual.
pansexual means that you are attracted to.
I mean on your cock.
You're like, okay,
Yeah.
think about it as you're attracted more to the personality than anything. Personality matters the most.
Actually, personality is your demisexual if you are attracted to
It's like a
personality.
demigod.
So
what generation are we
so
in?
pansexual means you're attracted to anyone. So I can be attracted to Yongkan, but I could be attracted to you. You know, it doesn't matter. But demisexual means that even though you are gorgeous, but if I don't like your personality, I will not like you. So that is
So
demisexual.
we're all like to a certain extent
Yeah.
demisexuals.
So essentially, like in the LGBTQIA+,
Wait, what does it have to be demisexual? Why can be like I just don't like them? But I think that they're hot. They're just not my type.
but you can only like fall in love with someone if you like their personality. So
Can
they
I
could be the most
interject
gorgeous
there?
person in the world, but if they
But then
have a
why
shit
does that have
personality,
to be your definition? Like what sexuality?
I think this is all stupid as fuck.
Why?
and why
Okay,
is
you
that?
said demisexual, right?
Yeah.
Which means you like personality over anything else, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people do that anyway.
But
Like, okay, that is why you see, right? Like those pretty girls, date those ugly fuckers.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that so? Cannot be for their looks, right?
demisexual means that you are not turned on by someone who is physically hot. So they could be like big boobs, big tits, but if you don't like their personality, then you're
But
not
that is-
attracted to
that is
them.
that they're not your type, basically.
They could be your type
No,
if
your
you
type
like their
as in-
personality.
In terms of looks.
Do you know why this conversation wouldn't happen like 1,000 years ago?
Why?
Because they were fucking killed.
By who?
That's true.
No, I think people are ignorant.
Oh, yeah,
in
they're
the
very
past,
closeted.
and now,
Yeah.
yeah, now people are more like they're more aware and like there's more like access
Would you
to
keep-
like all this information and
Yeah.
everything.
Okay, what do you guys think about people who identify as microwaves or wolves or
Microwave,
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean?
like
Oh my god!
You know that,
electrical appliances.
no, because okay, have you not seen like all those like My Strange Addiction
Okay.
videos?
yeah,
People be like,
yeah.
I identify as furniture. I identify as a wolf.
I think that's just weird.
They're like furries.
Can I
But
identify?
it's
Where-
like non-binary.
Yeah,
right?
but where do you draw the
But
line then? Like,
that's
how come
like-
they are weird and
Because that's not even a living thing.
Yeah.
But doesn't
So
mean- yeah.
even though in this day and age we want to be respectful as much as possible to what people identify as, if people want to identify as he, her, she, him, or they, them, like we as much as possible have to try to respect that. But when it comes to people wanting to identify as attack helicopters or like microwaves, people don't commit suicide because they're not labeled as a microwave. People don't get bashed or spat on or get killed because they are not a helicopter.
Exactly.
They are killed, they commit suicide, there are high death
Discriminated
rates, high
against.
suicide rates, discrimination in workplaces because they are not identified as the label that they want to be.
I think
Because
that's what's important.
And that's what's important.
Yeah,
and
but
that's
if you
the
ever tell me to
problem.
call you a microwave or treat you like a microwave or sit on you because you're a sofa, I will never fucking do that. If you
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like someone can just say that I identify as money. So like
Yeah,
I'm
if I identify as a
priceless, you know.
straw,
That's kind of hot.
a straw.
What?
if I identify as a straw,
Will
right?
you stop me off? I finished
just
your
talk
joke.
If I identify as a tampon, can I come inside you?
Let's just silence. Let's just let him feel the weight. of this.
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side.
Literally, yeah, okay, so what's next? Okay. Moving on to our next topic. Do you guys think that athletes should be allowed to compete in their chosen gender identity?
No.
No.
This is a very tricky question and it's a very tough question, which I don't think any of us are at liberty to answer because we are not trained in this. We are just like a bunch of fucking
We're not
Gen Zs talking
none
about
of
this.
us are non-binary.
We are
Yes.
not qualified to talk
Okay,
about
but-
this. So we can have opinions about this, but you know,
Okay, why not though? Like, why don't you think they
No,
should?
because
Because
okay, clearly, right? Clearly, men are born like biologically they are stronger than women. So let's say you were to identify as a woman, and then you go to like maybe a woman powerlifting competition. So a man who identifies as a girl goes to a woman powerlifting competition and just like destroys all the records.
and that's understandable. That's
Yeah.
understandable and a perfectly valid argument against that. So yeah, it's a tricky situation.
I do think there is a process though. Okay, for me, I don't know what to think about
Yeah.
this, but
I'm sure there are some legalities to it.
for the process is they need to measure their testosterone level, and then it can immediately after a sex change they're not allowed to compete until they measure like they reach a certain amount of testosterone for like 3 years, and that's where they lose all the muscle mass and stuff. So I'm not citing anything. I'm just curious, like if that is the case, like they have put in procedures to make sure that the competition is still fair. Should they compete then?
But how do you know this? Like, to what extent are you able to ensure the fairness too? That's the thing. Because I feel like there are infinite amount of differences, like sexual differences between a male body and a male body and a female body. So to even like if you like go through testosterone, that's not the only thing that makes you biologically a man. Do you know what I mean? So how much do you have to go through to ensure that the processes are fair, not just for the trans person themselves, but also the women who want to compete in the competition, let's say. You know what I mean? To what extent?
Like
are
what
you
about
able
the
to
sex change? Do they like cut off their dicks or you know?
It's a process.
They're
It's
not
no,
a,
using
these
their
are
dick
it's a
to
process.
run
So there's
or
like
lift
hormones
this?
that they have to
It's gonna be a painful
ingest
process.
it's usually like that is usually their last step.
Oh, it lasts that.
So they take-
it's
they
part of
take,
the
like-
process.
It is like and
Oh man.
Yeah. There's
they
hormones that they have to ingest as well.
yeah.
Oh.
There's only
like
so many.
pills.
There's only so
Or
many
injections and
measures that you can take to be fair in a competition. Even individually, like you are completely different people with different levels of estrogen and testosterone. So in saying that, like everyone is different, you know. So
Yeah.
I guess it just boils down to like the legalities of it and what the rules say, you know. So we can have opinions on whether they should compete or not, but ultimately it comes down to whether or not like legally, and I don't know who is decided by, but as long as they follow those rules, then they can compete if they want to. And I think in a few countries, I'm not sure which, but trans people are allowed to compete as long as they follow the rules, and we are not at liberty to judge them for that.
Actually, you're kind of changing my mind. Because I used to have this really strong opinion that I was like, I would think that like,
Have you seen some really buff girls? Some girls are like, whoa, like big muscles, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, imagine like you got like against her, you know, you're completely different people. You're both like women, right? But you know, there's a physical difference. So it's like everybody differs from
Yeah.
one another.
I
You
used
know,
to think that sexual differences between a man and a woman really dictate like the fairness and stuff in competitions and like I don't know. Like I guess now I'm on the fence. I used to be on one side, but now I guess
It's tricky.
I
It's
can see
tricky.
the other side.
I got a question.
Yeah.
If a man changes gender to a woman, and then I let that trans woman suck me off, right?
Why does it always have to come to this?
Am I gay?
Are you?
Are you?
No,
What do you
but
think?
Do you?
Okay,
Depends if you come.
No, you see.
Do you get hurt?
No, but you see, right? If the guy turns into a girl, right?
And she
And then-
identifies as a
And then
woman.
and then the girl now, right, who was a man last time, likes other men.
Likes
Is
other
the
men.
trans woman gay?
no,
Mm,
technically not.
no.
If you identify as a woman and you like
Your
like,
sexual
that means
orient-
you're
yeah.
straight.
Your sexual
Yeah,
orientation
you're
is different from your gender identity.
Yeah.
You could be, I don't know if you've heard of Gigi Gorgeous. She used to be like a famous YouTuber. He was a so he was a guy. He transitioned to a girl. She still likes guys, but then now she's married to a girl. So if you think about it, he was a guy
So
before.
is that bi?
That's like a shit.
But she identifies as a woman, and she's now married to a woman, so she is considered, sexual orientation wise, she's considered lesbian. Because she is a woman and she likes girls, so sexual orientation wise, she is a lesbian.
Let's say if I have a gay friend, right, I don't mind like changing in front of them because they're not attracted to me. You know what I mean? So it's the same.
I like men. I like men. I like men. Can someone find my ass, please?
I'm sure someone already has.
Just not you.
He was so offended. He was like, what do you mean? But yeah, so like it's really more about safety because in a public space or public setting, we won't ever know. Like if I see someone who's like maybe I can't clock them immediately, I'll be like, I can't just go up to like someone who I can clock and be like, oh, so like tell me about your gender history, like why do you identify as such, and show me.
Are you a
proof
guy or
whatever.
girl?
Yeah,
Like,
we can't just do that in public. So for us, I guess it's like safety would be the main concern.
Yeah.
Actually, I
I
want to
think so
ask though, but wouldn't you be associating malicious intent with, because there are girls who do voyeurism as well on girls, and there are guys who do voyeurism on guys as well. So why would gender identity change anything? With that? It's the act itself that is bad, not the person. Right?
Okay, I see your point, but like
I think what they're more concerned about is like if a guy, cause like generally, right, a guy is not supposed to be in a girl's toilet, right? Because in a girl's toilet it's their private area, you know, that like amongst girls, you know. But if
That makes sense.
a guy, right, if like a huge ass bodybuilder, right,
Yeah.
who identifies as a girl, right, just walks in there, right, I feel like they could be intimidated, you know, cause
But I would say like everything we're talking about is social construct.
mm,
So if it's as if you're putting them a label like, oh, just because you're a bodybuilder, you're born a guy. I don't care what you think and I don't care what's in your mind. You go to the guy's toilet because that's what you look like. That's not how it should be, right?
it's not based on what they look like. It's fine. I don't care whatever they look like.
Okay.
But the thing is, I have no sure way of knowing that you identify as a girl.
Right.
And
So
you
someone
know-
we can catch them in the act of doing something. They're like, but I'm a female.
What if they identify as a girl but then still like girls?
It's
And then
fine.
they
I mean, I have the
enter the
same
girls'
fucking
toilet.
body parts as them. Like they want to look that.
no. He means
They
what if
identify
the
as
guy
girl,
identifies
yeah.
as a girl, then the guy that identifies as a girl
Still likes
still
girls.
likes girls.
Then how will you feel?
Okay, so for example, right, I wanna fuck woman, right, but then I identify as a girl, so and I still wanna fuck woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
And then
doesn't.
go into girls' toilet.
I mean, that doesn't excuse you from being a perv.
No, but I'm giving an example.
Okay, I would like, because I think like you can do that. You can do whatever you want. But there is that bond and trust, right? For example, your gay friend, the reason you dare to change in front of him is not because he's gay, because you trust him, right?
Right.
I mean, of course, to a certain extent, knowing that he's attracted to guys and not to girls helps. But at the end of the day, there is that trust.
But
So
I guess they mean like if you
Yeah.
enter the
So
bathroom with a stranger.
what Sherry was mentioning just now, if you catch them in an act, like, oh, actually I'm actually a girl as well, but you catch them in an act of like peeping and stuff, that action itself is what you're uncomfortable with, not them.
Right. But
Yeah.
statistically, cis men are more interested, or like cis men are majority of the violators when it comes to voyeurism or like
Okay.
peeping toms, alright. So if I give you a box, so I can kind of sense that you're kind of saying like, oh, it's not everyone is like that, or like not everyone, but like I think for girls we have to be very safe, because if I give you a box of chocolates, right,
Okay.
a box of 24 chocolates, and I tell you that one of them is actually a piece of shit and it's not
Okay.
chocolate, will you eat?
No.
Exactly. So why would I want to take my chances?
So in the States or in Western countries, we have something called the gender neutral bathroom. Like anyone can go in.
You mean like unisex?
Yes, unisex. So like, would you knowingly go into a gender neutral bathroom?
You mean the handicap toilet?
No, it's not. Like it's
No,
it's like a
it is.
That
It
is
is.
for
It
people
is.
who are physically impaired.
But they are mentally impaired.
Oh shit.
No, we're
Please
talking about
explain.
like a bathroom
Connection
that
is like
it's like male and female bathroom combined. So they just put bathroom, male and female. You can go
So
both.
is it like one cubicle thing, or is it?
No, it's a lot of cubicles, like a bathroom.
it's just a unisex.
Does it have
bathroom.
the boys thing, you know? The
Urinal?
I'm shocked some of these people. How young are you? Have you not seen these kind
You've
of
never
bathrooms
seen
ever?
it?
Like in Malaysia, especially, you have a lot.
I don't even go Malaysia.
Oh.
or like the states have the states have it
Uncultured.
too.
Or like here too, in like some bars, because they don't have a lot of space to have like two bathrooms, they will just put it as gender neutral. Or
But it's
unisex,
and it's
both
not
genders
just
can-
two cubicles. It's like there's a lot of cubicles, and the vanity table is there as well, and then there is also like the
Urinals?
urinals.
So we're sharing bathroom with like ladies.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of
I
hot.
will just use it lah.
So I'm just whipping my cock out and pissing in front of the ladies.
No,
while
okay.
they're
There's
doing the makeup.
there's cubicles.
There are cubicles.
There's
Oh.
cubicles, but it's still a bathroom.
But then there's the urinals.
So
outside,
you
right?
so like when you open the door after you pee and you open the door, you can see a girl putting lipstick and makeup.
So,
Or like during
so,
their hair.
Putting it on her
like,
face.
I guess if there are such bathrooms and you choose to go in, you are knowingly taking that risk lah, that maybe like, you know, a not so responsible guy might be inside. But like if you have specified gender bathrooms, then you
You
feel
feel
more
safer.
safe. Are neo-pronouns necessary? Is it okay? Like, what are your opinions on people who strictly identify as they them?
No. I think it's too confusing.
But if they want to be identified as they them, it's like,
I don't give a fuck! Because like, if
but
you look
that's
like a
respecting
man,
the person.
I don't give a fuck! I mean, honestly, I don't give a fuck.
Why? Why don't
No,
you?
okay, it's so hard, okay? What is they for? In the English language, they means a group of people. So if you want to go by they, them, when I fuck you, my body count's gonna increase by 2. When you go to McDonald's, you're gonna buy 2 meals. You're gonna have to pay for 2 meals because you're a they, okay? Because when they want to be identified as they, them, they are making me change my linguistics.
Okay.
Because
Actually, okay, let's say
I'm taught to say that a man is a him, and for a woman I just said she, and for a group of people like maybe girls and guys, I'll call them they. But if they ask me to identify them as like one person as them, right? It's very confusing for everybody.
okay, let me ask you this: if like a stranger left their wallet in KFC, and then you go up to the person at the counter, what would you say? Like, someone left their wallet, right?
But
Their
that's 'cause
wallet,
But that's because you don't know their gender.
but it's a single person, right? That we are talking about here.
But that's a linguistic thing. So like,
yeah.
if I'm talking about someone who, like, let's say a person who I don't know if it's a he or she, then I'll just refer to them as them. But the
Uh-huh.
second, like, if let's say a person comes to me
Yeah.
and like,
Who doesn't identify as he or she, and you don't know their gender, he or she, you will call them they,
let's just
right?
say it's
Actually,
like,
can I
You
add
call them
something?
someone.
if I call you like, okay, if I call you like something else that's not they them, right, and your immediate reaction is excuse me, then I would just choose to kind of not be that person's friend, because I feel like a word shouldn't, if your gender identity is dictated by a singular word, or you're that offended by a singular word.
So what about the other new pronouns? Are they necessary? Like the Z's or the other ones that I mean I'm not sure. But
I think it's completely irrational to use made up words to identify yourself.
Yeah.
What
Because
do you
there are already words that people have created to identify you.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
No, I think I won't know your perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, to a certain extent, it is something that we are all mostly unfamiliar with, which then leads us to a very scary territory of like, is this even like possible? Is this even allowed? Is this even like logical? But that's because it's not the norm and it's not very widely talked about. So if I met a person who would like to identify as Z0, I would like to approach this person and have a conversation and talk to them about why they would like to identify as this. And if I respect that and I understand their point of view, then you know what? I'll call them Z0.
So,
But-
can I ask what is Caesar?
So someone who doesn't identify with he, him, or they, them, so that they identify as someone like completely different. And they could also want to be identified as wolf self, and doll self, for example.
Okay. What the fuck is that? Like, how do you use that? Can you explain to me how do you use that?
Like wolf would like to go to the toilet.
What the fuck?
Wolf self. I don't.
Personally, I don't think.
Because I feel like a lot of people don't even know what it is. Like it's
Yeah.
just, oh, can you identify me as a Caesar? Like what is that? Like to normal people, like not normal people, but like
To the average
most,
person.
yeah, to like
People,
the
yeah.
average person or most people, we don't even know what that is. Like we didn't even know that exists. So like I guess, do you think that maybe the like maybe education system or like should educate us since young, like this is what other people are identifying as well?
I think bringing up gender and sexual orientation in schools is a very tricky thing, because it should only be brought up in an educational standpoint during class curriculum. So it would not make sense for a teacher to bring it up during class for no apparent reason. If there's news that came out on Straits Times, on the newspapers, on TV about this topic in Singapore, then it would be appropriate to bring it up
So
as
you
an
don't think
educational standpoint.
Okay, very interesting views today from the floor. Is there anything else that we would like to add on?
I think at the end of the day, we're all humans. So if it means a lot to the other person to use what they want in terms of pronouns, then just give it to them.
Just respect one another, right? Love is love. So just be a nice person. That's all I gotta say.
I agree that you should respect one another, but also respect my decision if like I decide to like maybe just steer clear of super problematic individuals. You know what I mean? Wait, hold on. I'm not saying that trans or new people who want new pronouns are problematic. I'm just saying if you get super offended if I slip up once in a while, then it's a personality thing for me. Yeah.
I think for me, I would just respect whatever people want to identify with themselves, because I mean, ultimately, it's just respect, right? Yeah.
I refer to them as who I want to refer. Like anything I want to refer to them. So I'll call it it if I want to.
Then what if I want to call you a girl? I just call you a girl.
Okay.
Like I don't mind. I don't mind. You
It's
call
your
me a
last
girl.
words. Speak your
Okay,
last
okay.
words.
My last word is I disagree.
Okay. So for my animal viewers out there, meow, meow, meow. And for my dogs out there, yeah. Okay, that's all I have to say.
Okay. So we've come to the end of today's episode of Keeping It Real. And once again, my name is Sherry and my co-host.
I'm Emily.
And on our right, thank you Yongkang, thank you Wilfred, thank you Xavier, and thank you Ashton.
See you guys.
And
Bye.
next time, bye.